So who's ready for something new? I have redesigned the cylinder arm sewing machine tables and came up with a few additions, and this video is going to showcase those. I'm going to talk about the table and the attachments, and as you can see, I've got a lot of colored pieces here, and the reason why those colored pieces are being shown is because now when you place your order, you're going to be able to order all the accessories in color, and there won't be any more metal pieces except for the table itself and the hardware, the screws. Everything else is going to be made out of 3D printed material, and hopefully it will suit your needs and you'll be able to pick colors you like. I love color and I hope you guys do too. So the table is still made out of 3/16 inch aluminum. It now comes with a folded edge or bended edge, and this edge allows the material to come up over the table such that it does not, so the material doesn't get stuck or scratched. You know, that's what we're trying to avoid, is that it scratches the material. All of the tables I sell in my Etsy shop are going to have the engravings on them. So you can see we've got the measurement engravings at the top and the bottom. That's so that way you can align your plastic fences or the edge guides on there, so you can line everything up. And then at the needle area, we've got, sorry for the glare, but maybe that'll help us. So right here at the needle area, we've got the measurement markings for the seams. So that's the new table. One of the things I do want to point out is at the corner where the two folded edges meet, there is a gap. And there's no way for me to economically produce these tables such that I can then economically sell them to you. I can have them fabricated where there is no gap here, but it just really cost prohibitive in my opinion. Before I ship the tables, I need to do some surface cleanup work because there is this line here that happens from the manufacturing process, and because of that line there's also a matching one that is on the top. So my goal is to clean those up as best I can, do the engraving, have everything shipped out to you, and at the same time I'm going to run the grinder over these corners, these two corners here, just to break those edges apart so they're not quite so sharp. If you're finding you have an issue, just put a piece of tape over this corner, and that would both clean up any sharp edges you might have and then also prevent anything from that might get stuck in that gap. I didn't have any problems with that when I was working with the table, but I just want to make sure that I disclose that. The next thing I'm going to talk about is the attachment pieces. So when you order it, each table is going to come with the fence or strap guides or edge guide, or however you want to use it. You can use one for the edge guide, you could use two for straps, or quite frankly anything that you need to, or not use them at all if you don't like to. The table is also going to come with a 3D printed cleat. So this is the piece that you use to attach the table to the machine, and it will hold it in place. So we'll have those. And then I've got a 3D printed bowl that we're going to also include. Hopefully this is in focus. And this 3D printed bowl, it's going to come in two parts just for shipping purposes, so that we can get these things shipped out economically as well. And then you screw the two pieces together. When the bowl is put together, it can just drop in the table at the opening right by your attachment point. I also am producing a lid for the bowl, so that way you can keep things. If you don't like the bowl, just put the lid on there and then tape it down. If you like the bowl, but want to sometimes cover it up because you want a greater surface area in this spot, you can cover the bowl. So the lid will come with all of the pieces. And there are two other pieces that are going to come with it. I created these two pieces. They are mirrored images of each other. So as you can see, this particular arm, the cylinder arm tapers and gets more narrow the closer it gets to the needle. At some point, you know, it's like wider here than it is down here. So that means that there's points at which the table isn't connecting with the arm, allowing it to wobble a bit. And with this shaped piece being the wider side here, and this is the skinnier side, if you fit it on your table like that, again, I'll show how we install, but if you fit it on the table like that, it will give just a little bit extra surface area on the table for it to connect with the arm, such that if you wedge this in here, you shouldn't have any wobble. The two fatter ends would go toward the needle. The two skinnier ends go toward the body of the machine. Because if they go the other way, then the table won't sit right. It just won't fit. So my first thing that I do when I prep my pieces and get everything ready to be installed is I install double-sided tape to the back of my attachment plate, the cleat. And I also attach double-sided tape to the bottom of these brace pieces. I like to use double-sided tape. I get the 3M extra hold tape. I'll include a link below. That's what I buy. I buy a roll of it. It's amazing how handy it is, and I found the stuff that I'm using now today, it's really thin, so it's just amazing how handy it is just to have something that's super strong to hold it. The reason why I attach this tape to this plate is because I want this table to be easy for me to put it on every single time without having to worry about where the holes are, how it all lines up. I just want it to be convenient for me. I am going to take my the screw. This is the screw that I'm going to provide, and it matches the threads that are here on the machine, on the accessory boss. That's what this is called. And I'm going to move my needle out of the way. And so now the table's right where it's supposed to be, and the cleat it lines up, but I need to remove that tape. I'm going to be real careful about when I push this down on the table because I don't want that tape to attach prematurely. I want it to attach to the table when I want it to and when I'm ready to screw everything in. Okay. So we've got the tape. Put the table in place. Put my screw in there. And then match up the holes. I know everything's matched up. I'm going to take a quick look, make sure it's semi-straight. And there you go. So now the table is attached. And you can see I don't really have much wobble, but if you jiggle it, you're going to get more, you're going to get more. I didn't mind it. It didn't bother me, but, it bothered some people, and that's why I came up with these other pieces. So I'm going to bring the camera to the bottom and then shine it up underneath here so you can show how we're going to attach this piece. Okay. So if you can see underneath here, you can see the cleat. That's the yellow parts underneath here. And you can see how there's not a whole lot of connection points for the table to match up with the arm of the machine. It fits well back here. It's a tight fit, but there's really nothing attached to it. And it's just because it's the shape of everything. And this is how we keep it as level as we can. So the goal with this piece is to shove this in here, sort of lift the table up a little bit. Shove it in there, and then when you shove it in there, it will prevent, it'll fill that gap. It should look something similar to that. So I'm going to take it off, and then put the tape on, pull the tape covering off. Okay. So again, now I took the tape cover off. Now I'm going to sort of just lift it up a little bit, and then kind of get that sort of wedged in there. and then push down a little. And that's pretty good. You know, moves a wee bit, but you know, I can put it on the back side, do the same thing to the other side. I think that's pretty good. It moves a lot less than it did before, so I'm glad I'm glad people made these suggestions to me or asked me about this. I can only improve the design of the table if you guys tell me what you want me to change about it. And this came from somebody just telling me that it wobbled too much, and I didn't think it was an issue because I had found a solution that worked for me, and I would just explain how that happened, or you know, what my suggestion was. And then it sort of evolved into me coming up with this piece to be able to fit underneath there and solve that problem for anybody else who might have it. So on the back side, I'm gonna go to the other side and do it. And when I go to the back side, and I'm not gonna show this on camera because I won't be able to get back there, I'm gonna loosen the cleat here so I can get the table to tilt, you know, down toward the front of the machine, so that way I can get this wedged in there. Okay, so you can see the table is attached and it doesn't move as much as it did. I can't really lift it up much. Certainly nothing that I want him lifted up. And it sets nicely. And let's put that bowl back in there. Oh, I did want to point out, now that these pieces are attached, I'll show you what it looks like. So I'm unscrewing the bolt down. Now that it's got these attachment pieces, it is possible to get the table off, obviously. It's just that you've got to now sort of use the back edge here to get it off of the machine. But you can see the cleats in the space that it's supposed to be in all the time. And then these two pieces are kind of right where I thought they were supposed to be. You can always readjust them if you think they need to be readjusted. That seemed to work, though, for my needs. All right, so we've got all the pieces attached. They're on the back side, the cleats attached, and now there you go. So there's our new table with it fully attached on the machine, and put the bowl in place. Lid on there. Nice place for your clips, and everything is good to go. So the table's attached. Everything looks good on my machine. I'm super happy with that. And then lastly, we have the fence pieces that attach just like they always have. right, so the fences are attached. I have them loose so that way I can still move them around. And as you can see, I did the same notch out like I did before with the metal ones. And we do that so that way you can get your edge as close to that needle as possible and still use the wider foot that these machines come with, the normal size foot. I personally don't use it. I use the foot I have on here, which is a 1/8 inch foot, or it's about 3/16 actually. So from the needle to the edge, it's 3/16. So I personally don't use it. Use the wider one. But if you are going to use, the skinny foot that I often suggest, you can still use the fences. You can use them with a long edge, which allows you to get right up to that point. If you're going wider than, if you have a skinny foot, you can use the straight edge all the time, pretty much. If you're using a wider foot, once you get past a 1/4 inch, because that's the width of that foot from the needle to the edge is a 1/4 inch. Once you get past that, then you can always use the straight edge. So if you're doing like a 3/8 inch seam or something like that, you can line it up and you'll still have plenty of space by using the straight edge. And that is the table. I printed a couple of different colored options just because I like color and I like to show off color. But this machine, everything is yellow on it. So the drawer is yellow, so the pieces for the table are going to remain yellow. So that's the new table version. I hope you like it. It means a lot to me to be able to come up with these ideas and help you guys sew better. If you have any suggestions, please let me know. If you want to catch me on social media, you can find me at Recent Relics Designs on Facebook. And also, I have a Facebook group that I created. It's called the Cylinder Arm Sewist. And in that group, it's all things cylinder arms. Show off projects, show off your machine, ask questions, find out what's available, see what's new. Everybody's really friendly in there. If you're having a problem, somebody in the group probably has had that problem or knows how to solve it, and we are there to help. It is it's a group for all cylinder arm machines and for those who are interested in cylinder arm machines. So if you don't have one and want to learn more, come on over and check us out. And I think that's everything. So I hope you all have a pleasant day or night whenever you're watching this video. And like I said, if you have any questions, just let me know.